Fanikayode replies, Sultan, Christians are not just being persecuted, they are being slaughtered. The Sultan of Sokoto has told the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) that it's a lie to say Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria. Reacting to that, former Aviation Minister Fanikayode had challenged the Sultan of Sokoto and said to him that he is wrong. Femi Fanikayode wrote this via his Twitter handle, saying, "With all due respect, Your Majesty, you are wrong. To say that Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria is actually an understatement." He added that Christians are not just being persecuted, but they are being slaughtered, says Fani Kayode. It is a lie to say Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria, according to what the Sultan of Sokoto said. And Fani Kayode replied him that with all due respect, that it is wrong, that it's even an understatement, that it goes beyond that, it's even worse than even the persecution that he was even talking about, that it's worse more than that, that what they do is even more than persecution. And it went further to say they have just been taken away from the motherland every now and then. And just like I always say, people don't want to, people tell you, when you tell people who are of, you know, who are occupying a position of high authority, they believe that you cannot just correct them. And once you correct them or tell them to their face that you are not doing it right, they term it as an insult. And he said, with all due respect, sir, because of course, let or Your Majesty, let that respect be there. But that doesn't mean that the truth shouldn't be said. But you see a lot of people be fidgeting. Oh, the whatever I said is so. The Sultan of Sokoto, how dare me tell him that he's wrong, that he's not saying the right thing. That is why we are where we are today. That is why we are here we are, because we fail to tell the truth. And like Fanny said, it's understatement. When you talk about persecution, it's understatement. It's worse than that. It's really, really worse than that. So I think you should just get it. And a lot of people have been talking and complaining, not really complaining, disputing what the Sultan said. There are lots of things that the issue of a CGN coming out to say, oh, there should be full implementation of Sharia in Nigeria. What does that tell you? Do they think people are not hearing? Just like we've been saying, people are not hearing. And the yardstick at which the US came up with that assertion, they need to go and get it, because, and good and fine, the presidency has said they are going to be meeting with the US government by early next month, which is next year. I don't know, let them go, and so that maybe they will be able to learn one or two things. I'm sure by the time they sit them down, they sit on round table, and they will tell them the yardstick they use and the measures they use, which make them to come to that conclusion that we are adding you people to that list. I'm sure they are going to learn from it, and they will be so surprised, because most of the time when government is doing in our own area here, when government is doing something, they just try to blow everything out of proportion. They don't do thorough investigation. It's not as if they don't know what to do. They know what to do, but the political way to do it, or because of all these Nigerian factors always coming in, they wouldn't want to step on other people's toes. I heard Makinde Ogun, Oyo State governor, saying that he wants to, according to what he said, but that is how it ought to be. But another thing is for him to carry out what he said, that he must he is ready to step on toes in order for him to deliver his mandate to the people of Oyo State. That is how it ought to be. But what we get in most cases is that, oh, I wouldn't want to touch this person, I wouldn't want to offend this person. The next they will sweep everything under the carpet. So by the time the Nigerian government come and meet with the US president, they will be able to iron the whole thing out. They will be able to tell them this and this and this. And a lot of people have really come out to say, you don't need to bother. We don't need to start fighting ourselves. Of course, like I said, they are going to tell you the reason and the yardstick which they use in coming out with that fact. And what Nigerian government needs to do is to amend their ways, to do adjustment. We heard from Mieti Allah, warning their people that they wouldn't want any unpatriotic Fulanis to cause mayhem or to cause disunity in Nigeria. People are like seriously, are you just waking up to your responsibility? What has been happening before now, you never condemned it. Well, it's a welcome development if they are not playing lip service, but a lot of people don't really believe them. When it comes to that, they don't really believe them. So it is good that people speak to the power, because if you say it, fine. If you don't say it, it's going to be detrimental to you. that is just the way it is. It's going to be so detrimental to you. You say it, let just pass the message. But since that's the one that respects, of course, for somebody who is mature, you don't even need to disrespect anybody before passing your message. Correct the person, or from your own point of view, let others know what you feel about the issue on ground. You don't need to start insulting people. I think that's just the way it is. But for you not to say anything, you are dying, you are hurting inside, you are pained, and somebody is saying what is not, and you cannot just say, no, this is not the way things are. Say it the way it is, respectfully, and everybody will get it, even if they don't want to get it. But you have already said your mind. That is how it ought to be. I think the Sultan should look into the whole thing thoroughly. One thing about us is that we are not open-minded, because once we've positioned ourselves to some certain things. Oh, some people are just like, you think that some people are perceived enemies, and by so doing, you just block your mind. You don't want to listen to them. You don't want to just look from their own point of view. Even if the thing is hurting you, you just have to look, from other people's perspective. Be open-minded and be objective. I'm sure if they can do that, they will see a lot of things happening, and they know it. It's either they know it, or they are not really being open-minded, or they are just trying to be economical with the truth. That is just my own opinion. But it's a good thing that somebody will be coming out and be saying, and irrespective of whatever you think about Fani Kayode, I think is the man who has been speaking, on every issues. People always coming out to say, oh, must he talk? He always like to talk. If he does not talk, who has been talking? Nobody. We have several Nigerians that have been talking, without a lot of people hearing them, from your comments, your opinion, you drop down on the comment section. It goes a long way. But when somebody who is outspoken, who has been, who is a public figure, let me put it that way, who is a public figure, when that person speaks, it carries volumes, and yet it will pass, they will get it. They will definitely get it. So apart from him, that is always on. Some people are still talking, so we don't want to try to look down on anybody, or maybe not recognizing people. But what I'm saying is that on a daily basis, constantly, this man is always coming out, and which is a very good thing, which is really a very good thing. We commend him for that, but we pray that, and we hope that he will continue, and he will not disappoint people. But from the way he has been doing, from what he has, every little thing, he's always coming out. And people are not coming out and saying a lot of things like that. A lot of things would have gone bad. A lot would have gone bad more than what we are experiencing now. So let him continue that good work. Of course, it's not everybody that will like you, but one thing is that once you have searched your heart, and you know that yes, you are doing the right thing, you don't need to be bothered. But posterity will judge, because people will ask you, when so and so were happening, what did you say? What was your position? And what was your take? That is the question that we put up to you. But in as much you know that you are doing the right thing, and you say things just the way they are, you know, you will definitely be at peace within yourself. And let's hear what people are saying as well. Nigerians will always talk, and Nigerians will always say and see things from their own perspective, which is very, very right. Someone say, hear what Sultan is saying to the whole world. Where is the integrity we're expecting from him? Now, it is very clear that he is behind the killing of Christians in Nigeria. Hijab wearing is not a problem. Anyone can wear anything you choose to wear. Christians should be made to wear anything they choose to wear to school. Even military uniform can be abused in the name of religion. We are waiting for anything Buhari wants to do in the government to favor its religion. Muslim in this country, from every look of things, you don't want Christians to rest. Boko Haram, Fulani Esme kidnappers have been mentioned all the time from this group, but Sultan always look away from it. Look, God's judgment will soon rest on your leaders. Check history so you amend your ways. The most important thing is for them to amend their ways. This Sultan or whatsoever, men, you are complete. You are a complete hypocrite. But blessed be to God for adding us someone like Mr. FFK in this country. The Sultan and your Muslims, you, Sultan, and your Muslims family are the ones slaughtering Christians, because you form all the evil Boko Harams and Fulani Esme and many more. You are the father of all whatever. People are just trying to vent their anger on the statement he made. And just like Fanika already said, that it's an understatement to even say talk about persecution. That it's worse than that. It's worse than that when people have been taken up, when people's lives have been taken away. You know, it's really worse than that according to what he said. And we are seeing it, and a lot of people are testifying. A lot of people are bringing points, bringing issues, you know, to back up with what the position of the US, and just to dispute with what the Sultan is saying. Like I said, let them be open-minded. Be open-minded, and you will know that actually there, you know, you can really find truth in all that you know people have been saying, unless maybe you are just trying to be economical with the truth. That's my opinion. So guys, what do you think? Leave your comments below. Let us learn from you. You guys are just the best.